So I don't know how this is going to come out. Let me go ahead and focus this a little bit. You'll notice in front of you there are some steering wheel parts. And if you guys have seen my Aspire videos before for my Ford Aspire, you'll notice I did have an aftermarket steering wheel in there, but it just kept coming loose. And this, first of all, this is the actual piece that held it in, and if you notice, it was kind of jerry-rigged here. It's made out of like a really lightweight aluminum. So I went to the parts yard. Here's the old ring, and this was my first mod. This was an actual Aspire steering wheel, but that didn't hold out too well. Even though this metal here is a lot thicker than the one that came with it, it didn't really hold up very well. It kind of looked obnoxious seeing this extra metal here. So I was at the parts yard and I found a new spider. I think that's what this is called, and I bought some nuts instead of the little Allen keys to put on it. And I went and got a steering wheel. I think it was a Toyota. I got this off of, don't quote me, but when you pop, if you're at a parts yard, basically you'll see the steering wheels like this, and it's all steel. Now, come to find out, when I cut this out, it was burning bits left and right because of how thick this puppy is. But I wanted an original, yeah, there we go, a wheel, basically, to where this piece here that's built in the Aspire would actually clamp down into this, and my turn signal would spring back. So when I got the kit off the other car, it came like this, and it did not have those grooves, which I could have easily drilled them, but this is a really thin, if you can, I don't know if you'll be able to make that out, but it's a really thin metal. So every one of these that I found or have used before, they strip out pretty easy. It's a really thin, like aluminum. I want it steel because I usually pull up on the wheel because I'm disabled and I use the wheel, which I shouldn't, but I do. So I wanted that bad boy to be steel. So I cut this sucker out, and every blade that I used died. I'll get you guys the name if you're interested. It was like some dirty something, forget the name of it, but it's like an $8 bit or saw blade, and it cut right through that bad boy carefully. But then I bought a cheap $5 tap and drill bit, drilled it out, and very slowly went in and then out, in then out, and that's how I got the threads tapped for that. So now basically what's going to happen, this is garbage, this is the tap I bought, but basically this center piece, so this doesn't happen again, so it doesn't break and then I have to, you know, rig it together. I have a steel center now that I cut out from that steering wheel there, and basically this is the, you got the shaft coming from here, this will lock into there, okay, and then basically we could put our retainer and our spider, and it will literally, well, let's take this out of the way because you're not going to be able to see this, but with it being tapped in there, these will literally thread perfectly into the steel. See that? Perfectly into it, and give me a steel enforced steering wheel. So I'll probably take some pictures, standalones too, for this, but I figure I had to share it because I know a lot of people are putting aftermarket steering wheels, and the pieces that come, unless there's a special kit and you know you want to pay a lot of money for a special kit for that car, the standard one just doesn't cut it. It goes too far down. And I don't have it in this picture, but if you noticed, you have the thing for the airbag with the wires for the horn and that. This pushes too far down on it. So I went through two of them with this guy, this original one that broke. Obviously, you see how far the teeth are down in there. I'm not sure you're gonna be able to make that out, but you can pretty much see where my finger is. It's pretty deep down in there, so it pushes on that little plastic thing and it causes it to go bad. Whereas this one's a little less shallow. So basically, if you want to get an aftermarket steering wheel on there and get it to work just as good as the original, where the thing for the horn and the airbag wires, I got 6 of them, so I'm going to utilize them for a screen or something up there. But you want to take a, I'm going to try to find out what car I got this out of and update it, but I just was popping steering wheels off at the parts yard and seeing which ones actually fit onto the Aspire. And then I found this one was complete steel. What I didn't think about was how hard this stuff is really to cut through. And then I just took a Dremel and, you know, finally cut off some of the sharp edges here. But this makes a perfect replica of this. but this is meant for God knows what, and this one here is specific hardened steel, not no cheap aluminum. You ain't breaking this. And I'll update this video when it's all in and painted and everything's together.